Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'll be talking about planning and budgeting for dates in the modern era using my ageless strategy. And that's what I call it. This is a short video that goes out to my brothers to let you know why I did not have any issue paying a reasonable price for dates. The only assumption here that I'm making is that you guys already know how to date, ask a woman out for a date. This is not about me teaching you strategies to get a date. I'm assuming you already know how to get one. Okay, before we go on, please be sure to like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and don't hesitate to comment on what you've heard. So let me start by saying I never let a woman pay for the first date. I just never do. I never did. And here's why. Gents, no matter what she says, if she must pay any or all for the first date, she's going to be looking at you some kind of way. She won't be happy no matter what she says, and she won't forget it. The point is, you can blow a good thing right out of the box. So don't be surprised if you don't get another date. So nobody's asking you to spend $500, $300, even $200. Now, we all do know that women make exceptions for the guys they're attracted to, right? They always do. There's different standards based on their level of attraction for a guy. That's just something we all have to live with. So you should already know that. So, so most men don't fit into this criteria, well enough for the modern woman to just make that exception for you. You can't, if she does, you'll know it. Okay, so therefore, if you're dating with purpose or strategy, what I'm proposing may just be what the doctor ordered for you. I developed this strategy when I was 19 years old, and it worked pretty well throughout my whole dating life. Okay, so I had to figure out how to date women on a low college student budget at 19. The key word here is budget, and that's right. I actually had a dating budget. I called it my research and development fund. And that's exactly what I called it all of those years ago. I was an engineer, so everything was research and development. All this means is I looked at dating as an investment. And as with all investments, you never spend more than you're willing to lose. And that's a key. You never spend more than you're willing to lose. So dating is no different. My R&D budget wasn't a one size fit all either. The allocation I had for dates varied from the honeys I just wanted to smash to the ones I wanted to build relationships with. So once the R&D money was spent, and I was still standing on home plate, there was no more dates. So that lady I couldn't get past go with, I just put into the friend zone. No harms, no foul, no harm, or no harm, no foul. So and you just move on. And so I never really felt slighted because this is money I've already allocated to be spent on my dating. And so, and I'm gonna come back to that a little later on when I give you my 5 reasons why this is a good idea. So, but first, let's go do some definitions. I make a clear distinction between what dating is and what courting is. Okay, and so I'm gonna give you some definitions. Then I'm gonna go through the 5 reasons of uh, of dating. Okay, so dating. Dating is a modern era. In the modern era, to me, it's mainly been reduced to a casual affair, and there is no real commitment involved. And anybody in these YouTube spaces, we know that people in these so-called relationships, just dating, it really ain't for shit, right? The men cheat on the women cheat on the men, having babies out of wedlock. There's nothing meaningful coming out of a lot of these relationships. So, dating partners may or may not eventually get into a meaningful relationship later on, and that'll bring me to courting or courtship. Now, if you're courting each other, this is usually something where you're doing with intent, pre-matrimonial intent. And this is where the couples really get to know each other and they engage in a romantic relationship that may lead to a permanent relationship, namely marriage, right? And that's the goal for courtship. So these are the two distinctions. So this is for people who are just in a dating market. And if it elevates to a courtship, then you really should never worry about paying for anything because you should have a mutual love and appreciation for your partner. And then everything goes from just being transactional to validational. All right, so here's my navigating through the process. Here's my 5 reasons why I never have any issue. When you have a budget, you shouldn't be worrying about the money because you have a budget. You're not going to just blow it on any one person without really being intentional. So, number one, no matter what anybody tells you, there is no way to make a good first impression if you make the woman pay a dime for the first date. This is especially true for a woman you're vetting to be your significant other or wife. Trust me, she's thinking that if this guy can't swing for a meal, what else is he going to refuse to do down the line? So you can't be that cheap where you might blow a good prospect, you know? And so just budget it right. Don't put a lot of money in the first date, but don't ask her to dig in her wallet on that first date. It's just stupid. It really is. Okay, the second one, having a budget for dating tends to make you more focused and deliberate with your intentions. In other words, you most likely will be more outcome driven as opposed to just trying and hoping to get lucky. The third one, having a budget takes the transactional pressure off your shoulders, meaning that whether you get laid that night or not, the woman doesn't have to feel obligated, and you don't have to think you've been slighted just because you didn't smash because you bought a chicken dinner. So meaning the notion that a woman has to give you sex because you bought her a dinner, need not be your primary goal. Not with the first date. Trust this. If a woman lets you smash her on the first date, it isn't because you said some magical words with food stuck between your teeth. She simply wanted to smash you in the first place. And you probably could have saved yourself some money, right? Because a woman knows she wants to smash you as soon as she sees you. You can't talk her into it if she's not down. So you didn't say anything at the dinner table that made her say, "Oh man, I didn't think I would want to smash him, but those magic words, man, what made me wet." Nah, no, that's not how it works. Okay. The fourth one, when you have a budget set, you will tend to make the best out of the opportunity with the woman and that you're vetting to have a meaningful dialogue and pressure-free fun. Your goal should be to get a few good, useful nuggets from this woman on the first date. What she's about, get a feel, a vibe for how she moves in life, what she's doing, and those kind of things. And if you end up running the bases, then that's a bonus. But the key for this particular one is to develop situational awareness about this woman no matter what base you land on. So if you know that you can only get to first base, sometimes first base is so restrictive that you don't even want to try to go to second, or you know what, you see some progress and she might get a second date. If you get to second and third base, that's great too. Then you say, okay, if I can get to third, then it's maybe just a matter of time. Now, the only thing you want to make sure is you don't, get pushed back on second, or you don't get thrown out at home plate, that kind of stuff. And then the fourth one, and this is for most of you guys in the modern era, okay, having a budget eliminates the fear of being a foodie date sucker. Having a budget should eliminate that fear because if a woman has you as a foodie date, you know what? You allocated some money to her. So unfortunately, women do have men in their rotation as foodie dates. Since your budget is set and you can probably come up snake eyes in this date, that's okay because you allocated the money to go on this date in the first place. She should only be able to fool you once. After this date, if you don't know you're a foodie date, but by the time the date's over, then shame on you, right? Your budget, should have kept you from, blowing, uh, blowing, all your money on one date. So if she doesn't let you even get to first base, you just make a decision. This chick doesn't like me that much, and so I'm not going to spend any more money on her. That's what I'm talking about. And so, so there's no real magic to this. Set a budget, stay with your budget. No one size doesn't fit all. And when you run out of money on a particular, that particular month, don't overspend on any one date unless you really like the girl, but understand what you're getting into. And, so listen, and then if you really elevate this dating with a woman and you move into courtship and vetting her for something serious, then go ahead and check out my video on the 10 steps for courting and vetting a woman for marriage. That will be an elevation from this particular thing. So, hey, listen, this is a short one, like I said it would be. All pain over and out.